He hasn't showed up.
Uh,
So,
this stupid thing.
what?
For crying out loud, I'm reading it, trying to digest it, I get feeling it's
So that's your question, huh?
so far I don't have any questions.
So you found it confusing.
Um, well, what surprised me was, and this was just with the arm, is that it's it's stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
But I think there's more to what I'm reading. You know, there's more to it.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. There are a lot of variations.
Yeah.
I at one point I hazarded a guess that there were probably at least 50 variations, probably 100.
Wow. Well,
Let's see. Sorry, it's a little chilly down here today. The weather is catching up.
yeah.
Glad it's going to warm up a bit.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's just. Non-stop cold.
That's true. So you've got both of them down here now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hi. This is Mango.
How did you come up with these names?
You have to ask Jane that.
Okay.
She came up with them. Well, for one thing, if you look at straight into their faces, they both have M's on their forehead.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that was part of it. I don't think I can tell you more than that.
You know, they're unusual in that their stripes are everywhere.
Yeah, and notice that she, however, is marble on the sides. So.
Well, my shoe is in the way.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh. Now these are brother and sister, huh?
Yeah.
I'll be damned I got the shoe on, David.
All right. Are your feet enlarging?
Yeah.
Mine have a
Well,
lot.
yours probably did it normally. Mine are the result of fluid.
Oh. Well, I get a bit of that usually in the morning. I go to put on my shoes, I could tell. I mean, the fluid is a constant issue for us now, Bill.
Yes. You take diuretics?
Occasionally. They don't want me to use it a lot because I guess it's hard on the kidneys.
Oh, I have kidney. They keep telling me I have kidney problems. My creatinine. Do you know what creatinine is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I looked the other day and it was down to 1.7, which I thought was excellent because gotten to the point where it's up around 2.
Mm.
It used to be like 1.4.
Well, there are a lot of things used to be.
I remember when in '94 when I had my chest opened up and he worked on my mitral valve
Uh-huh.
and he did repair it for a while. Of course, as the years have gone on, it's gotten a little worse, but the kidney doctors came down and told me, you know, your kidneys are blah, blah, blah. Well, in walks the heart doctor, and he's jabbering with him. They're going back and forth. He says, for Christ's sake, he said, I opened up his chest and worked on it. What the hell do you think's going to happen to the damn kidneys? For Christ's sake. Yeah.
I like it.
He was now big heart. This was in Boston,
Uh-huh.
and he was a well-known heart surgeon.
Yeah.
And so what went along with it was his realization that he was magnificent. And everyone should realize that.
Oh, yeah.
What
Ego.
he says is law, you know. And he was young.
Well, he may soften as he ages, or he may get worse.
I think he got worse because one of my cardiologists wrote to him, and I used to get an intravenous before I went to the dentist.
Huh.
And, you know, they have pills for it. He said, no, they're not good enough. And even, now this must have been like 10 years ago, which was many years after I had the surgery. And he refused to budge on the pills. But I take pills. And I'm still alive, so.
Well, I'm glad.
Yes. Okay.
I noticed that even.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I guess when you end up at the bottom, your hand is like this. Now that is quite awkward. And so what do? You just
when you're talking about like the third or fourth position where you're going on.
yeah.
So
You've gone through.
Yeah. So you've gone to, so let's say, starting position at 3.
Well, with this one, the start was right at the bottom.
Okay, but we're in a bow stance, right?
Doesn't say anything. All it talks about is the hand. You want to be in a bow stance?
Yeah, we did this. That's very just basic. That's just learning the basic movement.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we're really working on now is starting at weight back, and rotating and shifting forward, back, and forward, and back.
Now see, what I do is I go up, I go through it, and then I come back up.
Yep. Oh,
And-
no, 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 no,
No?
no. No. No.
No?
Never.
Okay.
Okay.
But it is an 8. There is an 8.
There is an 8, but the 8 comes, okay, here's one side, here's the other side.
Okay, gets the other side of the 8.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yep, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So the basic bow stance one is to start with the weight back.
Right,
And it's good to take as long a step forward as you can, because if you don't have some distance, it's a little hard to get this shifting as you rotate, and now you're 60% forward, and now you're going to 60% back, and then you're going to 60% forward and 60% back. Now, you've got the arm movement, that's great,
and
but you're
it's-
not rotating the body.
well, you have to.
Yeah.
You sure I wasn't?
Well, I saw a tiny bit occasionally, but
Okay.
not consistently.
All right, let's try.
So you have to start facing forward, weight back. Here, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I'll mirror it so we're going kind of the same way. So as you go forward, you want to turn and come back to straight ahead,
Yep,
and then turn and come back to straight ahead, back weighted, and turn up, and so the dantian is always doing exactly the same thing that the arm is doing.
yeah,
It's also drawing the pattern.
now it's going up, your body's going up and down.
No,
No?
no. That was only when you were here.
I thought at the bottom you'd be down, and at
No.
the top your body's up.
No, you're doing it now with the shifting of the weight and the rotation.
Okay.
So that first movement, as I said, it's very basic. It's just learning really two things: the pattern
Yeah,
and to coordinate body movement with the arm. Okay? Here now we go into the practice becomes something that's related to our Tai Chi. Because now we're doing movements that we do all the time in our Tai Chi.
yeah,
Much more complex in our Tai Chi, but so what we're doing is we're at our base level, and we're just moving the body forward and back and forward and back, and it's the shifting of the weight and the rotation of the body that's moving the arm.
right,
So what this does is doing this and this and this and this. Yeah. Good. Good. Yes.
I am so used to doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
You know, I'm down,
Yeah.
but you don't.
You don't.
That's a no.
That's a no. Because you don't do it in your Tai Chi. I mean, there is some sinking
Yeah.
and rising
Yeah.
in Tai Chi. That does occur.
Yeah.
But it's only for specific postures, specific movements. Most of your Tai Chi is on one level. And that's what the Eight Gates is teaching. The only place it goes up or down is in pull down. Needle and seat bottom.
Yeah.
The rest of that entire movement, and it's nice and short, it's only 8 postures. So the other 7 are on this level. Boom.
You're right, yeah.
So that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
So that must have answered some questions. Do you have other questions from what reading you've done?
No, where I get confused is when they get into yin and yang.
Yeah.
And
It's yang, by the way.
yang, yin, yang. I guess that was, you know, I mean, I read all this very thoroughly. I mean, I studied it, I didn't just read it.
Yeah.
And the way it talks about things.
The way he talks about it. So,
Who is he?
who is
Master
he?
Joe.
Master Joe.
Yeah.
This is from his book.
Okay. And this must be the corrections that, what's his name?
Dr. J and
J,
Salman,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, you know, it talks about, you know, chance and Jing and
yeah.
all of that. And I got into the diagrams and I realized that that's what it is. It's,
Yeah.
okay. But it took a while to get through all of this.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I know I don't know yin and yang. Yeah. And especially when it talks about not inward, but let's see what's the words. Like insignificance with yin.
Okay. So you could have that insignificant and significant as yin and yang. Uh-huh.
Well, I guess basically I don't know the difference between yin and yang. And yeah, I've heard it many times.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Sometimes, like in here, when it got talking about the Earth going around the sun and stuff, but I guess that insignificance is kind of gets me.
So the energies of yin and yang are at their fullest are always opposite. But they are in constant transition from one to the other. And indeed, sometimes one becomes more prominent than the other. But when that happens, the opposite will occur. When, one can't say, but it will occur.
Is yang like a push and yin like a pull down?
pull down is more yin than yang. Oh, yes. The two primary Tai Chi postures, when you talk about yin and yang, the two primary ones is Peng, is ward off, is yang, and we see that. I mean, it's pretty clear in here. We see that outward rising movement, and that is the quality of Peng, is that it's an outward rising, outwardly moving and rising energy. It can be applied in any direction, but basically that's how we think of it. Yin, Kun, earth, as compared to Qian, heaven, Kun, earth, is absorption.
Okay.
So rather than going out, it's gathering in.
What's a good example of gathering in?
So when we do our form,
Yeah.
we have a further out here,
Yep.
but then we go in. So what's happening there is that if you notice that my arms are rotating, twisting outward and expanding outward, and then they are rotating and twisting inward as they come here. Boom. And so this is a, oh, you want to send this energy to me? Let's take it over here.
Okay, that's yin.
That's yin. And the prevalence of yin movements in Tai Chi, particularly when we talk about it as a martial art, is what makes it different from a lot of the others, which are focused more on attacking,
Right.
rather than being able to deflect. But it is absorbing that energy so that you can do something. You're absorbing your opponent's energy so you can do something with it. So that's at its fullest. But every posture that we work with, other than Peng and Ru, are made up of combinations. Because just as when we look at this, we have the fullness of yin as three broken lines. Now when yang begins, we have one solid line appearing at the bottom of the trigram. And then we have two solid lines when we get to here. And those two solid lines move to the bottom when it gets fuller, because the most important position on the trigram is the bottom line. And when it gets to the fullness of yang, we have the three solid lines, but there always remains a little bit of yin within it, because it's going to do the reverse now, as it goes back to the fullness of yin. And so each of these also refers to a specific posture, a specific energy, I should say. And we think of it sometimes as being related to a specific posture, and they are, but they also relate to many other movements too. Am I confusing you?
No.
Okay, good.
No, this is good.
So another way to think about yin and yang, Master Joe described it often as showing the phases of the moon. So in other words, yang is is the full moon. And then the dark of the moon is yin. And then it goes back to the full moon. So one of the things you're doing in this is showing that continuing, constant changing cycle of the moon and everything else. Also, he suggests that when you're thinking about the arm, the position of the arm, that the sun is in the center. And so you want your palm to always face to the center.
That's hard.
And I understand what you're saying, but one of the things we're trying to do here is increase flexibility, of course. But if we go back to our arm movement, stop for a moment and look where your elbow is and where my elbow is. Yeah. Drop your elbow to face the earth and let it continue to drop. And it's not so hard.
Well, I had my arm out,
right,
because I thought that that's out, and then as you come down, you bring the arm in.
You do, but you're doing it like this.
Of course.
It needs to be like that. Release the shoulder.
Okay.
Let the shoulder relax. And then this movement is not that difficult. And you see, and again, you got to here and your elbow went up. Your elbow is preferably always lower than your wrist.
Okay.
That obviously when your arm gets down here, that's not, you can't do that. One of the reasons is that if you get into this position, an opponent can break your arm or dislocate your shoulder with great ease. But as soon as you drop that elbow, you have power of resistance. So that and also that now the energy moves where it doesn't here. So does that may help that?
Yeah.
And in the single arm, where we have that, it is more difficult. But if you keep the elbow down, then it's not so hard. If you when you're doing this, if you keep the elbow up, all of a sudden it gets
Okay, so do that again.
Here. Over here. So you're going to turn and keep rotating the dantian. This is another way of doing this. So the and this comes up in the Chansujin in other places. So you're going to take this arm and it's going to go across the center, now back as you continue this way, and then into, yeah.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, do that again.
So you're facing forward, and you're going to rotate back and keep rotating to guide that arm, and then that's where you go into the forward movement.
Okay. Let's do that one again.
So turn and shift back. Keep turning and shifting back. Now turn and shift forward. I mean, you also have a step.
Now, what
right
did we
there, but
just do there? Did we?
we did yang to yin, but with a continuous turn in one direction rather than
Okay.
doing two directions.
That's what we're doing. We're doing in this.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't thinking it.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean that's where we get to. We're doing this single arm movement, and we get to here, and now, no, we don't get to there. What are we doing? Wait a minute. Boom. Boom. Come on, David. There it is. Now, here's where it comes in. Boom. Turn, shift forward, step. Boom, boom.
Okay.
It's that point in the and that's one of the things that appears in Tai Chi that doesn't appear in almost any other of the Chinese martial arts, and that is a retreating strike. In the Yang style, it shows up like this. In the Wu style, it shows up like this. But it's there, which leads me. I'm going to move you out of the way of the camera. Which leads me to
the whole time.
that's all right, because he could probably follow what we were talking about. One of the other ways of doing this that leads to that is starting at the bottom but with the weight forward. So you rotate and shift back to create the yang, and you rotate and shift forward to yin, and you shift back and shift forward. And you go right on into the other arm, back, forward, back, forward. So that's, and you go right on to doing the other variations at the other points that we worked on in the more basic mode.
I have to, I took a double diuretic this morning.
Go. No problem.
He said, hello, the cat. I would have told you, is the door closed? Oh my goodness, it was. You poor.
Bill's upstairs. I'll just say to you, Dave, I hope you're feeling better. I hope your shoulder is repairing. We'll talk at some point here. I'm just waiting for Bill. I had to go up and use the facilities.
Sidetracked.
It's okay.
Okay.
So, you were also asking about the rotation of the arm. So, just what I was saying was that, that's our starting point. You're moving ahead too fast, David. So we're thinking of, here's the beginning point, okay? So now, as you approach the center, you let that rotate the arm, and your weight is forward. And then you're going to go back as the arm rises.
You're going through
I'm doing the wrong one. I'm sorry. You rotate. Your weight is forward. Then you're going to go back, and then you go forward to here, and you have a very slow going back because it has to go all the way around to here.
What are we doing? What?
I'm doing the first starting position is here.
Okay.
Second one is here. Third one is here. Fourth one is here.
Oh, the different starting positions.
Yeah, only that's talking about the pattern, the start of the pattern.
Right.
Not the start of the movement, because the movement always comes from here.
Right.
So this point is yin in that fourth pattern. Now it's yang. Now it's yin. Now it's yang. And now it's going to be yin when you get clear back to here.
Okay, let's do that together. I'm going to stay over here.
Okay. So do you understand what we're doing here?
Well, I know that you're doing the same pattern, only you have a different starting point.
Yeah. So if we start with our weight back, if our starting point, this is our first one, there's our second, that's our third, and there's the fourth. We're going to go to the fourth to
Okay.
9 o'clock.
Right.
Then this movement forward has to be very slow, because we are not forward at this point. We are still more yin.
Oh, more back.
So now you're forward. And now you're fully back. And now you're fully forward. And slowly, 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 slowly back.
Okay, now I did not see you go through the esker.
I did here.
Okay, but that was from the starting point.
So you're okay. Here's the starting point.
Starting point.
So this is at the bottom of the diagram.
Okay.
The diagram's on its side.
All right.
So now you're going to go to the top, the fullness of yang.
Oh, see, I can't. I'm not seeing that.
Okay. So we're talking about starting clear over here, which means that I'll just turn it this way.
Okay. All right.
So if we're doing the right arm,
Yeah.
in order to get to the very beginning point is
Right
here.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to the fullness of yang. So we continue forward to here. Now we're going to go back, and the arm has to turn to do that yang position.
So what we just did was this.
Yes.
But
And
why?
And we went back.
That's like second. What did we do first? Sure.
So the first thing we did was go very, 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 very slowly forward.
Is that 4?
There's 4.
Yeah.
That's the beginning. Yin. So this movement is going to yang, and in this case, we're going forward to yang, right? So the
Why? Well, we started. Oh, we started at 4.
Mhm.
And that's our first move.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, all right, I got it.
but the actual physical movement started here.
Yeah,
So in order to go from clear back at this point to clear forward at this point, you have to go very, 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 very slowly forward. And then you go back, forward, slowly, 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 slowly back.
why do you keep saying slowly?
Because because our tendency is to 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 do this, get to here, and then go all the way back by this point, which is our starting point. But because we have that whole transition to do, we don't want to get to this point and not have any shift. We we want to have continuing movement back to here.
Why is that shift so important?
Um, why we have these variations is that when you get into, say, doing the long form, you have constant variation of relationships between the arms and the legs.
Yeah.
And the shift and the rotation. Everything is constantly changing and changing their relationships. And what this is teaching you to do is not just fall into a pattern, but to adjust to whatever you need to do. So teaching you how to have a different relationship. So instead of just having back forward, you have back forward.
Alright, show me on here the whole thing, what you just went through.
So what I just did is that.
Okay, and then,
There, and back to fullness of yang.
yeah,
Now you've completed the basic pattern,
yes,
but you have to get back to your starting point.
okay. Alright, I see it.
Yeah.
And the forward and the back
Mhm.
are tied in with yin and yang.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, so like if you're up here, you're forward. If you're down here, you're
Well,
back.
It depends what pattern you're doing and what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's, if I can look at this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let me take this over so Dave can see
see it, yeah.
if he looks at this.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All of that discussion, Dave, we were looking at the fourth starting point, and we turned the pattern to reflect that position. So that means that the first time our pattern was beginning here, the second time here, the third time here, and we're looking at the fourth time here. Right?
Right.
Okay. So, our weight is back when we begin.
Yes.
And we go very slowly forward, continuing forward to the fullness of yang. And then back a little more quickly as you go to the fullness of yin. And forward to the fullness of yang. And then slowly back. Pattern completes. Return to your starting point, arriving at 60% back. And facing forward. That too.
You noticed.
Excuse me, I just need to sit for a minute.
That's quite all right. So let me see.
Yeah. That's the beginning of your pattern.
Is this the starting point?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're going clockwise to get to 4. Okay. And then,
But stay continuing going forward, because now you're going from yin to yang.
I'm here,
Yep.
but I'm coming down, so I go back.
No. No. See, that's the point is that
Oh, rats, I started.
you're going from the fullness of yin to the fullness of yang, so you go forward, forward, forward.
Over here.
And then through the S, shifting back, and then all the way forward to the other side, and then slowly back, 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 back. You have to keep on going till you get to the bottom where you change to the other arm and do the other side. Slowly forward, continuing forward, 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 fully forward. Now going back through the S.
Oh, I haven't gotten to the S yet.
Yes, you have.
No, I'm
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah. in the, holy criminy, what do I do with my hand?
Let it rotate. Turn the palm. Uh-huh.
But then now I have to, oh, okay.
Don't go so high. You're just going through the middle of the pattern. But do an S curve.
Well, that's like this. I'm looking at it, that's the way it is.
Okay, so if you're going to do, but now see you're doing the left arm, so it's that pattern, not this one.
Well, what's it doing up there?
Hang out.
Okay, all right, we'll have to stay with this though.
So you're working, your right foot is forward.
Yeah,
But you're doing your left arm now.
okay.
Yep. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's put that right in front of the
So
other one.
I'm going to turn this.
Okay.
So this is right foot forward, but left arm.
Yep.
So you're going very slowly forward. Very, very, very slowly forward, forward. Keep on going forward to the fullness of yang. See that?
Yep.
Now through the S curve. Yin, back, forward to the fullness of yang, and then slowly back. Pattern complete, but keep going to the transition point, which is here.
Okay, let's do that one again.
Okay. So, transition point, begin. Slowly going forward. Beginning pattern. Keep going forward. Fullness of yang. Back through the S. In. Forward. Fullness of yang. Back. 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 Pattern complete. Continue back to the transition point. Boom.
The forward and back is confusing.
It is confusing. It is confusing, absolutely. At first, it's very confusing. Matter of fact, this is nothing.
Well, we don't have anything except your words that says when to go forward and when to go back.
Oh, you know. All you have to do is think about the pattern that you're tracing. If you're starting here, and you can see this pattern goes in this direction, excuse me. If you're starting here,
yeah, I have to go to the right.
So in order to get to the beginning of the pattern,
which is right there,
you have to go to here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go to yang and back to yin.
Yeah.
And over to yang. And now, very slowly, you pass by your starting point and continue back to your transition point.
Now you're back.
Now you're back, yes.
You're back with yin. And you're forward with yang.
No. You're not forward. When you start here,
yeah,
you're not forward until you get to there, until you've gone 1 1/4 times around.
Okay, that is the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't start right through the curve.
You go halfway around.
Halfway around.
And then you do the curve.
So.
Yep. You don't have to turn your arm. Just drop your elbow. Yeah. No.
Well, I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
To get through the S. See, I'm in the wrong place to get through the S. The S should be over. You should start the S right here.
So, no. Oh yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. So we've gone around and we've come forward to this point.
Yeah.
Then the S is here, and it does turn in this one.
Yeah.
And then you're going back around, forward, and then very, very, very slowly back. Pattern complete. Return to transition.
Okay, so you're completely back.
At your transition point.
At this.
When you do the S curve, but not...
I'm talking about at the end.
At the end, it's here when you're fully back.
It's where?
At the bottom of the pattern.
The bottom. Yeah, okay.
So in other words, you can only change from doing the right pattern to the left pattern here.
Right,
That has to be your transition point.
yeah.
So if the pattern changes orientation here, that changes the movement getting from your transition point to the starting point. So in other words, for instance, if we went to the hardest one, which is the last one. Let's say we're going to make this the starting point. So you're going forward, 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 back, forward, and then back, and you only have to go that far to get back to the transition point. That's with the first change, the second position.
Right, then you go with the other arm. All right, but how do I know when to go forward and when to go back?
So you have to go from the transition point.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm forward. Let's just say, let's see. This, which way do we? Oh, yeah. 1, 2. No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's 1.
No, this is one.
Well, I thought this was 4. With the left arm. Oh no. Yeah, but we go.
Wait a minute. I'm okay. So this is the first one.
Yeah.
That's the second starting point.
Yeah.
That's the third starting point.
This.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that's the fourth starting point.
Here.
There. There.
Don't we?
So with the left,
When this thing is normally up,
yeah,
this is the bottom.
yes.
Okay. So I think that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that wrong?
You don't actually start at this point. You always start at the end.
Well, I know that, but
Okay.
but you're
It's
that-
1, 2, 3, 4.
okay.
It goes around. 6 o'clock is the first one. 9 o'clock is the
Okay.
second. 12 o'clock is the third.
And
3
3
o'clock
o'clock.
is the fourth.
Okay. Right. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is confusing.
Yeah.
Um,
But okay. So when do I go forward and when do I go back?
what I just said.
I'm fully back when I'm at the official starting point. Say
Yeah.
this is the official starting.
No, it isn't the official. You always transition from the bottom
Yeah, but that's not the starting point
pattern.
of your pattern,
No, it's not.
right? Unless,
So you're going to go. You're going to go with the left arm.
okay,
Okay.
I would have had my left foot forward. I don't know. Okay.
Well,
All right.
we were doing it with the right foot forward, and which is
Yeah. Okay.
you can do it with the left foot forward.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
So,
All right. We start here, but what do you call the starting point?
So the starting point is going to be here.
That's the starting point.
Yes.
Okay. And what number is that? Is that 4?
That's 4. It's 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Isn't it? 3 o'clock?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So you start at the transition point.
Yeah, that's the transition point.
The tricky thing is you're going to go right by the starting point. You're
Yeah.
not there yet. So you're not starting this one till you get here.
Okay.
And now you complete going forward.
Yeah.
Go back, forward, back, 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 back. Transition. Hey, this is the easy one.
I have no clue as to when you go forward and when you go back.
So, in doing this, what I suggest you do
Yeah.
is not. I was simply doing that position, the 4th starting point, as a demonstration.
Yeah.
If you start from the 1st starting point,
Okay.
which you're familiar with, so that's easy, okay? So that one you don't have any problem with. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Okay? When you're comfortable with that one, then think about the pattern starting over here.
All right, now wait, let's do that one again.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we start with the right arm.
Yep.
All right, so we're back.
Yep.
All right.
So rotate and forward,
Yeah.
back through the S curve, forward, back, other arm flows right in, forward, back, forward, and back. And then if you going to the second one, because it's
I'm still trying to figure out the first one.
okay.
Whenever you're, is it when you're at the top, you're forward?
When you're at the fullness of yang, you're forward. When you're doing the pattern, you're not. You got to remember there's a transition period and there's the pattern. They're two different things.
Yep.
They join together, they connect, but they're different things.
Yep.
So we were just doing this pattern. This is the left-hand
Left
side.
hand. Okay, so
So fullness of yang, yin,
we're back.
fullness of yang,
We're forward.
Fullness of yin, back.
Back.
Fullness of yang, forward. Fullness of yin, back.
It's always the top and the bottom.
It's
And-
always the yin and the yang. If you
Yeah.
talk about top and bottom,
Well-
you're going to confuse yourself.
Right, I know. It's, yeah, it's where you are on the pattern.
Right.
Okay. Now, how do I know yin and yang?
Yin is black and yang is white.
Okay, so this is full yang.
Full yin. This is the big part.
I'm looking
This is-
at these.
Okay, broken lines are yin, solid lines are yang.
Okay. And yang, you forward,
Yeah.
and yin, you back.
At the moment. You can do the opposite. But we won't go there at the moment.
Well, thank you.
So the pattern moves in the direction of its own rotation.
Yeah.
So on the left side, that means that the next position is actually here, because this is the direction that this is going. Yin grows to fullness, yang grows to fullness. Okay?
Yeah.
So now this is the starting transition.
Right, yep.
This is the beginning of the pattern.
Okay.
This is the fullness of yang,
Yeah.
the fullness of yin, the fullness of yang. And now you don't go all the way back here because you have to go to your transition point.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this one.
Okay.
Where is our starting point?
Okay, so let's put the right one. That's the left one. So I'm trying to find where I am on this pattern here.
That's,
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is going this way because it's the right-hand pattern. So that first change is going to be here. Okay. So.
wait a minute, this is a weird one.
Oh, wait a minute. What have I done?
Yeah. We want to go to 9
I did the
o'clock.
wrong. I did the wrong. See, I don't look at the. That isn't right.
No. One more. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. I don't look at these anymore when I do it, because. Ooh, watch out.
It's got good senses.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the right pattern is over here.
Yes.
So we're going to go all the way forward through the S, all the way forward, slowly back to your transition point, and left arm comes in, pattern starts, all the way forward, all the way back, all the way forward, slowly back to your transition point.
Oh. Yeah. Help.
Help. I can't even read my phone.
What time? 11:20.
Guess it's time.
Thank God.
No! Hey, you. You're no help.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
you have to understand, this is also a mind exercise.
Oh, sure is. Yeah.
And that's part of the intention of this too, is to keep your, and it's also staying present, not thinking ahead, staying with where you are in the pattern.
Is there anywhere that tells you when to be forward and when to be back?
No, I haven't. I have never recorded it.
Well, it's probably a good thing that you haven't. Let me get my shoes and we'll talk. Hey, those are my shoes.
They won't fit, Moki. So the other thing I'll say is that working with the complexities of the Chensi exercises is what actually trains you to be able to do your Tai Chi movements without concern. Because everything we're doing here in this what we call vertical movement here, it also exists. We do it. We also do it in a diagonal on the horizontal. So with the pattern lying flat on its back. Okay.
Oh boy.
And we also do it in a bow stance, but with holding the ball in front of us.
Oh, show me that one.
So it goes up to the top, comes down through the bottom, goes back to the top, goes back to the bottom.
Yeah, I see that. You know,
and it gets even more fun when you go to the other starting point, and now you're going to go. Yeah.
that one I like because I can feel the energy when my hands are like this.
Uh-huh. And actually, what's really interesting is you can begin to feel the difference in the energy.
Well, I have to admit that at one point, I did feel energy in my arms.
Good.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It is.
For me.
Well, I can stop the recording. See you next week, Dave, or next 2 weeks, hopefully.